Hello, my name is Honorata and I'm associated member of APCCA, Association for Person-Centered Creative Arts. In this video, I would like to introduce you to art journaling, have a little talk about what art journaling is, what does it mean to keep art journal, and the purpose behind it. If you've done any of the APCCA practitioner courses, you probably were asked to keep the journal as a part of your portfolio, and hopefully that gave you a flavor of what art journaling is. So I have a selection of my journals to show you today with me, but before I do that, and I talk about types of book and types of expressive ways of engaging with our journal, before I touch on that, I just want to explain that the way our journals are used for therapeutic purposes is very expressive. It's very much about the person who creates in our journal turning up to their own creativity, their own art. Our journals are not for display. They are not to be compared with other journals. They're not like canvas in gallery. This is a very personal, very unique process. It is a therapeutic process through engagement with expressive arts. There's no right or wrong with journal. People worry sometimes my art journal looks ugly. They're not meant to be pretty. They're meant to be authentic, which means the person who creates in our journal is ready to process things on emotional and spiritual level through creative and expressive activities that are taking place in our journal. Journals may have very different forms, and I'll show you different types of book I use. And again, you may be using your own concept. Some people even build their own journals. I've never done it myself. I'm a bit lazy, so that's something I don't have to show you. It may be thing you want to try yourself. And another important thing to remember about art journals is that they may use different forms of expression and artistic expression. You may be using paints, pencils, collage, drawing, working with abstract, working with color, working with pastels, or everything at the same time. And also it may be very symbolic way of engagement with the art journal, where there is meaning for you in colors, lines and shapes, or it could be more narrative based, more like storytelling, where you can involve writing as a part of your art journal, or images, would that be collage, or your own images created through drawing and painting. It's ocean of possibilities how you want to go about with your art journal, and that's probably why myself I keep quite a few of them. The ones I showed you a moment ago is just a selection of what I actually have in this room. So let's have a look first at the journals, types of books, and hopefully that give you a little bit more flavor what authentic art journaling and therapeutic art journaling is about. Okay, so let's start with the first type of journal. What can you use for art journal? This is textbook. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I do like to create textbooks for some strange reason. And I just want to flick through that, maybe show you a few pages, so you have the chance to see how diverse those expressive voices present in the journal can be. This is one of my oldest journals. It's got things from like 7 years ago, as well as something newer, because I keep coming back to it. As you can imagine, textbooks have many pages to fill in. So very expressive, very messy. Pages are not in order, not created in order. Sometimes I just open it somewhere and where I land I create. So textbook, that's one idea. Another one is a plain book. It could be, this one was created from a guest book. This is very much, this one is purely abstract. I call it my messy art journal, with lots of abstract work, so not collage or anything like you've seen in the previous one. Again, very spontaneous emotional response to pages and selection of different ways of working with it, with paint, pastels, mixed media, and inks. You may stick to plain sketchbook. So sketchbook is also your kind of art journal. Some people like idea of the sketchbook. So this is more where I literally sketch, but again in a quite expressive way. But that will only have mainly will have work in pencil, sometimes a bit of watercolor. So sketchbook, if you want to start working art journal plain journal, mixed media sketchbook would be great if you want to use paints. Another option is to use book. Again, this was a book, but that was a book with illustrations in it, and this could be sometimes you completely covered by your work, but sometimes you can use a part of illustration that's already in a book as a part of your art journal page, like this here. So this was a part of the book. So that's another idea if you want to respond to illustrations that are already in a book. And here also the cover has been recreated from whatever was there in the first place. Another example is what some call accordion book or concertina book. So this is great for art journal. This is where you can extend your pages and go across the pages, so you don't have like in traditional book page by page. Again, those can be bought ready-made, or you can make your own. They're pretty easy to make. Basically it's just a very long piece of paper and it's folded. The beauty of that is it's got reverse side, so you have more space to create because you can go on the reverse side. Actually, you never know which one is the reverse side. So that's another option. And another one here was again created in ready-made book, where I used images that was already there to become part of our journal pages. And here I also worked with responding through the holes to previous page. So that's something if you want to do. It's another idea if you like working with there's some text there, and then sometimes look for text within the book. That's something you can try. And the last one I'm going to show you is made out of, apologies for noise, that's one just on the floor, visitor's book, or I also have one which is the old ledger. And again, I just use it so you can see it was filled in. I use that to again as my art journal to respond to pages. Sometimes I'll be inspired by what's on the page, and sometimes it'll be just very spontaneous, and this one is still work in progress, you know, with plenty of pages. It's quite big size as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that very short video with different art journals, and I hope it inspires you to have your own, where you can find that sanctuary to respond from emotional and spiritual level to your journals. Thank you. Bye bye.